Hello and welcome back to another episode of Retro Recall, and this time we are moving to the Super Nintendo, which which I had after I had the Sega Mega Drive. I think the Super Nintendo came out could have even been a year after the Sega Mega Drive. I'll have to check, but it definitely came out afterwards, and it was the one I was really waiting for. I think Super Mario World was probably the game that I was really keen to get. So very excited to get the Super Nintendo. Uh, and yeah, I'm just going to go through the list from A to Z, and then just stop at each game that I owned, and we'll take a look. Actually, since Super Mario World was the first game I had with this machine, I think it kind of makes sense to check this one out first, and then we'll go back to going through the list from A to Z. From A to Z. Oh, I dread to think how long it is since I played this game. Oh god, it's got to be 30 years maybe? Blimey. Anyway, no, never mind about that. Yeah, I remember that. I remember you could kind of choose which level. In many places, you had like a choice of levels to play. And then if you'd done all of them, or a few of them, you could move on to another area. I'm going to rescue my friends. No. Okay. I just love the graphic style of it. It's nowadays you probably wouldn't think it'd be that different to the NES, but it was at the time. It looked a lot better at the time. I suppose it's more colours, more bits. Ah, the trick to taking them out is you have to hit the one at the front and then knock that shell into the other ones. Can't really do it with that. There you go. Oh, that's crazy. You've only just got to clip them at the side and then suddenly that's it. Just out. Got to get further. Oh, you can pick things up, can't you, I think? Oh. Ah, that's how you get Yoshi. Oh, come back. Ah. Oh, wow, that was a short level. Oh, that's not the end. It's just a checkpoint. Come on. Yeah, I bought this from. I bought the Super Nintendo with Mario World from Worcester. I think. Yeah. I think this was when I was at college, I think. It was either before college or just soon after I started college, I think. And yeah, I was very, very happy. Odd. Very happy to get this machine. I just love the design of it as well. Just thought it was a really, really nicely designed console. The cartridges, all nice and sort of sleek and smooth. Easy on the eye. Ooh. Yeah, I think they did such a great job. Such a great leap forward compared to the first game. Quite a bit of variety in level design. Go down there. No. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I completed this. I put a lot of time into it, and I'm pretty sure I did every level, apart from maybe any secret level I didn't know about. Let's spin then. I can't remember how long it took to finish it. I think it's like 100... like 100 or so levels. Back here. Oh. So frustrating. Like ghouls and ghosts. So frustrating when you lose like a level. You lose your armor or you shrink back down in size. Ah, there we go. Anyway, that's Super Mario World. It was great. And I was putting the time in and actually concentrating and doing it properly. I think not long after I bought the Super Nintendo, I bought a converter so that I could play American cartridges on it, because there was a shop in Worcester that sold video games, and they also sold sort of imported video games as well. So I remember I bought a converter so I could play the American Super Nintendo cartridges, and I think at the time I bought Street Fighter 2 with it, because I don't think it was out in the UK yet. I got Street Fighter 2 early. And another game I bought, an American cartridge, was Contra 3: The Alien Wars, which I think in the UK was called Super Probotector, and it was actually robots. I can't remember the reason for it. There was some kind of... I don't know if it was a licensing thing. I think it was kind of... It was more to do with... what's the word for it? Maybe it was considered too violent or something, and they replaced the guys with robots. I'm not sure. Anyway, in the UK it was a different... It was basically the same game, but it was called Super Probotector, and it was robots instead of these two guys. So I was glad I got this one, because I think it's better. It just seems better playing as people rather than robots. And it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of action and a lot of fun, and it was quite difficult. That made it kind of like an arcade game where, you know, you end up using a lot of continues, a lot of lives, and but I really liked the 3D effects in it. I think it used the Super Nintendo's FX chip to achieve a lot of the 3D effects. I think there were some big sprites in it as well, some big enemies. But yeah, I remember having a lot of fun playing this game. Contra. Funnily enough, they've just released a new Contra game. I can't remember what it's called. Oh god, that was close. Yeah, it's basically a sort of a alien-themed action shoot-'em-up. Ooh. Oh, oh. God. Oh dear. God, that was over very quickly. But it's good, yeah, it was a good game in that you could play it two-player. I just think we got very chaotic on screen. It's a bit like R-Type, where you're constantly constantly sort of powering up, increasing your firepower, but also having to avoid hell of a lot of shots. Like, a lot of it's just about dodging and avoidance rather than fucking God, look at that. How quickly that ended. There are some pretty good set pieces in this game. I think there's one section where you're hanging onto a missile. Shooting enemies while you're sort of hanging on the underside of a missile. Hanging from helicopters and stuff, so... Absolutely ludicrous, but a lot of fun. That firepower now. Ah, and that's all over. That stupid turret. Yeah, like games from this era, you needed way better reactions. Nowadays, you just get away with so much. See, how is... Anyway, that was Contra 3: The Alien Wars. Jimmy Connor's Pro Tennis Tour. A vague memory of buying this, very vague, but I presume it was probably during Wimbledon season, and I thought, oh, I'll get a tennis game. I remember this was quite a good game. Quite good fun. How'd you start? Yeah, it's basically what you'd expect. Tennis game. Can remember how to. Yeah. Ooh, tough luck. Oh. The volley. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, it's all about timing. I don't know how to put force into it, speed. Oh, it was out. Oh. Try using a different button. Okay, yeah, I got a bit more speed in it. I actually win. Alt. I actually win this. That was out. Jimmy Connor's Tennis, not much more to say about it other than it's a tennis game for the Super Nintendo, but yeah, like I said, I did enjoy playing it. I'm pretty sure it was well received. I could happily play this now, to be honest. Very basic, you know, but there's enough in there to give you a variety of shots and techniques, but yeah, good game. I'm not sure that I actually owned Krusty Super Funhouse. I think I think I borrowed it from someone. I can't remember who, but yeah, I don't think I owned it, but I did enjoy it. Thought it was a really good, fun puzzle game. A bit like Lemmings, where you have to basically move things around so that the rats can find their way out of the level. So we will have a go. Hopefully the first level will be a very easy one. Okay, so the rats are on their way. Presumably they've just got to get in there, have they? I've got to get that block down somehow. Ah. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know how to move that block. It's almost like the select button is just give up. Don't know. There must be a button for moving blocks, but I can't work out what it is. Oh, unless you can't actually do that until you've picked up the skill to do it. Ah. Well, that kicks it, so why didn't it work before? Oops. Hmm. Yeah, I give up. I'm obviously missing a control somewhere, but the idea would be to get the block down here, and then the rats would just climb up and over it and go into this not entirely humane by the look of it machine. Would deal with them, but don't know how to move these blocks. Right, I just stopped and checked the controls because I just wanted to make sure that it was me missing something and not a problem with the game. And basically, you just push down like this to pick up and drop an object down on the D-pad. So that should, yeah, there you go. Off they go. But, oof. Oh dear. Ooh. Ah, so that's locked that door, presumably because I've completed it now. Ah, I see, I can't get back out that way. Ah, catches you out of those drops. Naughty. There we go. Another game I could happily just play all the way through. Nice little puzzler. Nice little Simpsons themed puzzle game. think Pilot Wings was second game I bought for the Super Nintendo. Wouldn't swear to it. But I remember I bought this from Boots in Worcester when they were selling video games. Funnily enough, I was in there this morning actually getting an eye test 30 years after I bought Pilot Wings from them. Weird. Anyway, yeah, I think this was the second game I bought. I just loved the idea of like a sort of fun, very fun arcadey style flight simulator. And it really made good use of the FX chip with the 3D and the sort of zooming in and out. Is it parallax scrolling? I don't know. No, it's not. Don't know all the technical terms, but yeah, like you can see here, where it uses 3D, and you can have an aeroplane. You've got this jetpack. There's the parachuting, the skydiving, which is really good fun. What else was there? Said hang glider. There's at the very end, I think, when you complete all the levels, you get access to an attack helicopter mission, which is really good fun. We have to take out targets on the ground. I think to do that, you need to get through all of the license tests for each sort of skill discipline. Complete 2 objectives. Score 120 or more to pass. Okay, so I'll have a look at the light plane first. Follow the green glide path. Follow the green glide path, then land on the runway. Okay. 45 seconds. Yeah, that's quite cool. It gives you scores for accuracy, time, angle, beam, whatever that is. So sure what? Why am I going down? Rate of descent too great. Yeah, not going to get many points for accuracy. I'm not entirely sure what button I was meant to be pressing then. 0 points. Okay, better. The graphics look so blocky now. Yeah, well, I mean, they are blocky. They would have been blocky then, but it's really weird now. So I need to try and reduce speed. Ooh. Felt a bit hard. That guy's face. Oh, great. 94. That's good. God, I only dropped 6 points. Crikey, that was easier than I thought then. God, his face. Well, I have got experience. I might not have had a very good first go, but I didn't know the controls. But once I got the controls, yeah, it all came flooding back. You never lose it. Imagine if this was like a virtual reality game. Imagine that could be potentially very traumatic. Probably not a good idea. Oh, the ring! Oh, balls. dear, I don't even know what the parachute is. Rate of descent too great. Oh, pretty poor. Definitely do better than that. He's not so happy now, is he? 35 points. Rotate to steer until you open your parachute. Well, yeah. I don't think it's going to let me do the other. Oh, God. It's giving me a license. God, I wouldn't have given me a license. To complete the objectives. Okay, here we go. Wow, that's right in the middle of the bullseye as well, I think. Their eyes. 100 points. Wow, that's not bad. That's not bad for a first attempt. Good lord, looks like she's having some kind of mental event. Never expected you to do so well. Yes, you're not the only one, Shirley. I think this SimCity is probably the game I put most time into on the Super Nintendo. Yes. Yeah, because it's just one of those games that's an absolute time sink. You could easily just put several hours into it and then just not realise how late the time is. And yeah, you do one thing and then you think, okay, I'll just do this, and then I'll stop the game, and then another thing crops up, and then you think, oh, I've got to do this, and I've got to do this, and I'll just do this. And but you know, it's fun though. It's a lot of fun, this game. I've probably built several cities, probably massive. And it's just it's well designed. It's quite sort of straightforward to do. Where'd you put more commercial zones? Yeah, you start off with just a very small city, and you just add more and more buildings, more and more zones. The roads sorted out, the rail, power, water. And then you just kind of deal with problems as they arise. And I think there are natural disasters that could occur, like tornadoes and stuff, and even Godzilla, I think, or King Kong. End up, was it Bowser? It might have even been Bowser from Mario could turn up and destroy a city. Yeah, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It does obviously looks very basic, but it doesn't really matter. It's a very small, well, yeah, it's a relatively small interface compared to sort of similar games now, but you've got everything here on the left-hand side that you really need. And then you can start getting into this stuff up here when you need to, but to actually get things working. Yeah, there you go. Come on, that's not got power. There you go, connect everything up to power. I think in this game you didn't have to worry about water. I think SimCity 2000 you had to connect water up. And that kind of created a whole new layer in the game where you could see the water pipes under the ground. Yeah, in this game you just connect it up to the power and that's it. It starts. City starts to grow then. Don't know how you zoom out. Oh, there. Okay, that didn't quite do what I wanted it to do. So what else can we put down? I like that you could just put a random park in certain places just to help with the air quality, I think. Interesting, now we've got a stadium. There seems to be commercial sites being built on, so I'll put some industrial over here out of the way. Well, I've got that big gap, but never mind. In line with that. I'm not going to be carrying on with this, even though there is actually a part of me that could happily carry on with this and just play this. Yeah, really well designed game, I think, because it kind of gets the basics you can grasp very quickly. Up here, the top right of the screen where it says RCI, that's residential, commercial, industrial. So at the moment I think it's telling us we've got plenty of residential, we don't need any more, but we do need commercial and industrial. Or it's the opposite, we actually need residential. Yeah, it might be that we need more residential. There you go, we've got some industry there. Commercial areas of... see, now that gauge at the top has now changed so that we still need industrial. Don't need any commercial now. We do need more residential, so... Yeah, so you look at that gauge to see what's required. And you just keep adding to it. Then you keep an eye on how many fire departments and police departments you've got. That's basically it. So there is more. There is obviously more to it. I think I'm running out of money now, so there's a limit to what I can do. And put an airport in, which is a shame. I think you have to wait until the end of the fiscal year to actually earn money from taxes. But yeah, I could happily play this game. Again, your village has become a town. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a strange game, really, I think, to play on a console. Maybe. But it was just so well done. They did such a good job of it. Like I say, I just piled hours and hours and hours into this. I loved it. Very addictive, very absorbing. But yeah, I don't play any games like this anymore. I think it was kind of moved on, I suppose. Or maybe it's just I know a game like this is going to be such a massive time sink. I'd rather play something that, you know, doesn't take up so much time. You can just go in for an hour or so and then do something else because my attention span isn't massive. But, oh, look at that. The factory. So that's the town of such a great game. There's so many versions of this now. But I think I'd happily just go back to the original, this one, and play it. So yeah, I bought this as an American game, American cartridge with a converter, not long after I bought the Super Nintendo. So I was able to play it maybe a couple of weeks before it came out in the UK. Really, really enjoyed it. Such a good game. Look at this, only 8 characters to start with. Seems crazy now. I think I can still remember some of the controls. That's not working. My favourite moves, just jumping in the air and oh, kneeing them to the head. Oh, he's getting his own back now. Yeah, I entirely know what I'm doing here. Couldn't do a Hadoken. Sure why. Come on, do a Hadoken. Ah, here you go. Silly arms. Oh. It looked so good as well back then. I think it's because the sprites were so big and they were animated pretty well. It just looked really impressive. It doesn't look too shoddy now, to be honest. They did a really good job with the design. Oh, God. He's gonna beat me. Let's face it. Yeah, there he goes. Elastic Man. What a great game. Not much more you can really say about Street Fighter. It's very popular. I think we can move on, but awesome game. One of my favorite Super Nintendo games. Oh, I didn't own Super R-Type, but it is another game that I borrowed from a friend. I think it was Greg, friend of mine from school and college. Can't remember if I swapped it with something or not. I'm not sure, but anyway, I borrowed Super R-Type off him, and R-Type's one of those games where I don't think I've ever completed one, but I've just always really liked the gameplay of it and the aesthetic of it. A bit like Contra in the way that you just gradually pick up power-ups and sort of get better and better weapons and different weapons. And also like Contra, you end up getting the screen getting full of enemies and projectiles, making it pretty manic, needing to really concentrate. But I really love the like the satellite you can pick up that just sort of rotates around you, sort of protecting you from various things and adding a sort of extra attack. That's one of my favourite things about this game. And also that you can charge shots like that. Didn't really do much then, though. Oh. Oh, there it is. Oh no! Just as I pick it up, I get killed. Typical. Ah. And it starts you right at the beginning as well. No checkpoints. How disappointing, but yeah, that thing I just picked up, that sort of attaches itself to the front, so you can, so it's kind of an extra attack, but I think you can also dislodge it and have it, or maybe that's a separate thing. You know, like, so that it circles around you like a sort of satellite weapon. I think it might fire as well, I'm not sure. But yeah, I really do like R-Type. Shame I didn't spend more time playing these games. Another one of my favourite Super Nintendo games. I remember at the time this came out, I couldn't afford to buy it, so a friend of mine actually offered to lend me the money to buy it. So I was able to actually buy it on the day of release. And then paid him back. Yeah, I love this game. Like just the music, the way it starts, fantastic. I don't think I played Super Empire Strikes Back and Super Return of the Jedi. Oh, that's the moment when you load up the game and you get this screen and the music. Just fantastic. There's some really good levels in it as well. A lot of it's just side-scrolling. Sort of side-scrolling shoot 'em up platformer, but there are some flying levels in it as well, which are really good. Can't remember. I think I've got a feeling this was redone for Xbox Arcade or something like that. Not sure. Got a feeling there's a remastered version of it. You do get to use his lightsaber. I can't remember how. Yeah, and I think it's the end of this level. You have to fight the Sarlacc monster. Which is kind of not true to the film, but yeah, it's not completely accurate, but it was just so much fun. So cool. Womprats. I think this is one of those games where you have to sort of keep moving, otherwise these enemies will just keep respawning, so there's no advantage to just stopping and shooting them. They'll just keep coming forever, I think, until you've got no health left. Blaster power. Oh dear, here we go. God, I haven't got his health that much. Oh, close for comfort here. Oh, oh dear. Oh dear. God, don't tell me I have to start at the beginning here. Or is it just straight into Sarlacc Pit Monster? No, no, I've gone back to the beginning again. Don't actually think so.